Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast, Newmarket, Coolmore Day, however you want to see it, wherever you lived. As always, I'm joined by Matty. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. How are you?
Going well, mate. A few technical difficulties again from my end. Surprise, surprise. But how's your punting week been?
Punting week's been okay. Last weekend was a little bit dry. A couple of winners on a Friday night, but Saturday was a little bit hit and miss. Look, I'm looking forward to, obviously, the NRL's back, so a little bit of variety there, and the AFL back next week.
Yes, can't wait. Especially NRL's been good. Good to watch something live or something that means something, and AFL coming back. And last week was a absolute horror for us. Everyone has them. Can't always pick 9 winners each week, and Puritrez was a real top off for me to end my day. I still can't believe he got beat.
At what point was it home?
Everywhere but the last 45 metres. Taurus. Good to see him back where he was. It's one little thing I learned, actually, listening to the radio about Artorius. The trainer got on Sam Friedman and said we had to change things up because he was getting too comfortable just walking out of the barriers. They changed the jockey and said just ride him straight out of the barriers. Wherever he falls, just ride him out. As he said, some jockeys were getting too comfortable on the horse and letting it just walk out. So little things you pick up from trainers, and that's a little gem that I picked up. Maybe if they change things up on horses, they might, just try that a little bit harder. But, Zach Burton put on an absolute clinic, which is great to see.
It was sensational. Your day might have been topped off by that. Mine was topped off by Eduardo. Thought leaderish track will go even a little bit harder. And then a horse that we've actually tipped on this program previously, Passive Aggressive. Wow, what a run.
Yeah, I had something small myself because I'm like, I love him to bits. I know he can put in a good performance. I thought he was going to be on speed, and I just thought the 7s was crazy price, but geez, he went better than I thought. It was more a love.
Eduardo ran exceptionally well, but Passive Aggressive went to another level, which was good to see.
And it was good to see Giga Kick return, and last prep wasn't a fluke.
No, that's definitely one to mark down.
Yeah, can't wait to see him in the TJ. Draws a nice barrier, jumps cleanly. I think we have a good race on our hands, but we'll move on. We're going to preview races 1 and 6 from Flemington. I will. Matty's going to do race 3, Sydney, Rosehill. We're going to do Bets Around the Grounds multi-pineapple of the week. I'm handing it over. We spoke about it. I still feel sick, but got to hand it over. Talking points. We're just going to talk about one here that from the weekend and about the fall that happened at Flemington in the Guineas. Good to see all horses were fine. Zara was fine, and Ethan Brown's on the mend. So it'd be great to see him back in the saddle. It was a shocking fall, so we're not going to talk about that, but more the point, if a jockey falls off the horse, should there be an automatic stand down? Now, I'm going to say yes, there should be, no matter. That was a heavy fall, and thank God Mark Zara was able to ride the next race, and it's not about what happened the next race, but it's more what could happen. I think they've just got to be stood down straight away. They do get checked by a doctor on course, but man, my feeling is the jockey 100% in the mind to run? Now, if that was a benchmark 84 meeting in the winter, I can guarantee you Zara stands down and goes, I'm going home, which is fair enough. It was a Group 1 next race. Of course, he wants to run in it, but was he 100% fit, mind, matter, everything going, good to go? I'm going to trust the jockey. It's yes. But there's so much money involved in the owners, the punting. I'd just like to see an automatic stand down. There's plenty of other jockeys to use. It is sad, and we don't like to see it, and it's a rare thing. But I just think for the best of the sport, just stand him down. If that's a Melbourne Cup and he falls off, because he's not right, or pulls it up because he's getting dizzy, man, there's going to be a lot of angry people out there. And racing Twitter is going to be one of them. And there's a lot of dickheads that will just go to town on these jockeys. I just think it's safer to just stand them down for owners, punters, trainers, and all participants. Thoughts, Matty?
Yeah, interesting one. And I think racing has definitely got something to look at just in terms of, you look at the other codes around Australia and also overseas, and the way they're dealing with head injuries at the moment. It's definitely can't be taken lightly, and it's not so much the immediate impact, but it's a longer term impact. So concussion doesn't necessarily occur within the first 10 to 15 minutes.
Yep.
There is a lag there. So I think you do have a sincere point, and I think for the welfare of the jockeys, it's definitely something that the racing community need to look at seriously, because the rest of the major codes around Australia are well in front.
Yeah. AFL leads the way, and I'm all support it. And plus, it could be not just a head injury; it could be just a shoulder. Like, he could feel fine and move his joints and go, "Yeah, I'm ready to go." Pressure comes on, 400 to go, and he's got to swing with the whip. He dislocates his shoulder, and it's just, I think it's just better for the sport, better for.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of what ifs in this, but I think what a lot of codes have done exceptionally well is they have taken quite a assertive stance on anything to do with the head, and they do have a period of time that they do get assessed.
Yep.
Now, I'm sure Zara was assessed, and you've got to trust the professionals to do their job, and I'm sure they did. So, not questioning that one little bit.
No,
it's definitely, for me, foremost looking after the jockeys' welfare.
Yeah, 100%, and that's what I'm saying as well. Not saying that Gentleman Roy lost last week because of Zara, but it's just, if it's probably a 0.1% chance of happening, but let's wipe it out before it does happen.
Interesting.
Panthers score a try. Sorry about that. Just got my eye on the NRL. Track stats. Flemington. Now, this is interesting. If you can cast your mind back to 12 months ago, this was a mad bias day. Not because of the track. It's just the way where the rail positioned at 4, lanes 4 to 7 on a true track, rail true. Lanes 4 to 7 are the place to be. So rail out 4 now. Lanes 1 to 3 are going to be really the A spot. Yeah, you'll be able to camp behind them, hopefully, and run on. But if you go back 12 months ago, what happened down that meeting, it was quite scary. So I'm going to look for horses that's definitely on speed in circle races, 16, 14, 2,000 metres, right up there in the kill zone. Straight races, it's a broken record what we say here, middle to outside barriers, horses on speed. They're the places you're going to be. But I'm going to say it, watch and act, because it could be quite scary what could happen. And Liam O'Keefe, best track manager in the world, he won't let it happen, but it's just the way the stats tell us that horses on speed. Anything to add, Matty?
At least they'll be watering the track evenly.
100%, mate. Yep, no 1 to 2 lanes off. Trial trackers this week. Interesting one here. Race 2, number 3, KGB. So any Rounders fan movie out there, you're going to be backing this one. So, race 2, number 3, KGB. He's had 2 jump outs. I've liked both of them, but we'll talk about the most recent jump out, which I love. He looks like he's come back bigger, stronger, and better. I know the stablemate's in the race at $1.80. I can't knock it, but I'm going just off jump outs only, and I thought KGB was better. And at $5.50, I think he's worth a little bet. Should come across from 8 with the stablemate in lead, and it's just going to be a ding-dong battle down the home straight. So that's race 2, number 3, KGB. Watching on YouTube, I'll pop it up there. You can watch and see what I saw and make your own mind up. As I said, previewing races 1 and 6 from Flemington and race 3, Sydney Rosehill. So I'll kick things off here. Race 1, it's a 2,000 metre benchmark 80. I'm just bringing the odds up. Just need a bit of thinking time to null us over here. So we got the favourite here, all top odds here. So top odds, Shock 'em Over is the favourite at $2.05. Elverdon, $5. Sparkle, $6. Independent Road, $6. And you can have 21, write your own ticket for the rest. Speed map here. I have the J-Rod leading, and I feel from barrier 8, Sparkle's going to come across and sit outside leader. Elverdon, Independent Road from barriers 3 and 4 are going to sit right behind the leaders, get a real gun run. The interesting horse for the map here is Shock 'em Over. Gets Willow on board, who likes to put horses in good spots, positive areas. I've mapped this horse second last as a worst case scenario. So you'll see him down the bottom. But best case, he's going to be right behind them. And I'm confident that Willow is going to put this in a good spot. In saying all that about the speed map, I'm backing Willow in here and Shock 'em Over, to put it in a real good spot. Give this horse its best chance of winning. I think this horse has some talent. For the horse, it's had 4 starts at Cranbourne and Moonee Valley only. They are tight turning tracks at Victoria. To win twice and have 1 placing, sitting near last on all occasions and running on those tracks tells me this horse has some talent. Finally gets to a big track, which has been screaming for since start 1. Last start, I thought the jockey made a few errors if I'm going to be critical of him. Early on, snicked where he could have been very positive. And then around the side, there was chances he could have just bumped him, leaned out to go, but he just waited for too long and Elverdon just took off and went. But back, the things I like here, third up now, good barrier, good jockey, finally gets to Flemington, which it's screaming for. No excuses, ticks every box for me to be having something on it around the $2 mark. Sparkle, well, I was on this horse last start for the community and, I thought he was a touch disappointing. Had the perfect run, but the second and winner gave him windburn. So, just a bit of an iffy here. Now up 400 metres on a 7-day backup. I feel it's a bit weird of a choice. I know a lot of people are going to agree and say, no, that's great. But he didn't give me indications that she wants to go 2,000 metres. I think they're backing it up to get more fitness into it. I don't think he thinks it's fit enough. So doing that, I don't know if I want to be around it at $6. But because I was on it last start, it probably wins. That's my sort of go. And Matty knows where I'm going with that one. Elverdon, I can't knock his last start against Shock 'em Over. I just don't think he's going to get an easy ride up front like he did at Moonee Valley. And I don't think Willow's going to make the same mistakes as Jake Noonan last start on Shock 'em Over. No knock, but just a different race shape for this horse now and a different track, which suits better for Shock 'em Over. Matty, your thoughts?
Very well assessed. I thought there was only real 2 chances within the field. You mentioned both of them in Shock 'em Over and also Sparkle. Sparkle's going to be an interesting one. I think you raise a good point that they could be after a little bit of fitness for this one. So it'd be interesting to see how it runs. I thought it was quite disappointing last start. So you can see here you've landed on Shock 'em Over with Craig Williams on board.
Beautiful. All right. We'll keep the good times rolling here. You can go with Rosehill Race 3.
Perfect. Thank you, mate. Now, look, observations here. I don't see this being a hectic speed race over the 1350, but I think there's going to be a fair few pushing forward. As I said, I think it'll be at a solid tempo rather than at a flat-out speed. But Worm, just before I jump into a few of these, have you got the odds there?
Yeah, I do, mate. Top odds favourite here. Fine point, $3.70 with Bet Right, but on the average, it's about $3.40. Tamerlane is $5. Dynamic Impact, $7. Mautai, $8.50. Attractable, $12. Reduna, $12. Ton of Grit, $12. And then you can write your own ticket the rest.
Well, I'm only going to be going through a couple of horses here because I do think it's a bit of a skinny field. And look, you got a lot of first up runners and a couple of these that are going to have a bit more fitness. So, look, one that was quite disappointing last time was Motai. I know I mentioned it to the community. I'm interested to see if it's got improvement. I can't talk into it, and I think it's more likely to run a place than winning here. But it will be one that we'll keep an eye on. The 2 that I wanted to focus on here, though, were Dynamic Impact. Look, this horse will have the race fitness after 5 starts this prep. And last start ran home quite well behind much better. Here, from a speed map point of view, it'll get back from barrier number 4 and do its thing like it did against much better and be running on. Now, it is only race 3, so I don't know how much of a real guide we're going to be getting for where the winners are going to be coming from. This race might be the first indication, but generally speaking, I'd probably prefer to be in the first half of the field, which is why I've got Dynamic Impact second selection. On top, I do have the favourite in Fine Point. Benchmark 88, down from group racing last spring. Solid first up. Had 3 races around this time last year as it was progressing throughout the grades. And it had a win and a couple of placings. So expect it to be ready to go first up here. It'll get a perfect sit. Where are we running from? Barrier number 5. And this is the best rated horse. It and Dynamic Impact are the only 2 horses that are proven at running better than benchmark consistently. So Worm, Fine Point will take a lot of beating and quite comfortable to be having Fine Point on top ahead of Dynamic Impact.
John?
How did you find this?
Yeah, just leave me hanging there, mate, thinking you've dropped out, but all good. Yeah, mate, I'm with you here on Fine Point. Sorry, I was just bringing up its form. I think you've got to go 2 starts ago here back in October.
Yep.
Third to Hope in Your Heart, who came out and won either last week or the week before. So that ties in well. Honey Creeper, I think, is a good horse. I wouldn't worry about its 13th or 15th down the Flemington Straight. Might have not handled it. Might have been 1 run too many. Waller first up is the only knock, but J-Mac on board. He wouldn't be riding it if he didn't think it's a good enough winning chance. Plus, J-Mac's going to ride to win because he's got 6 days off, so he'll be really pushing out for a bit of extra cashola. The most interesting runner here, and I think he's over the odds by just a quick look, is Attractable here. Moody left the Moody yard to Sarah Ryan. Now, I know Moody has gone through phases of just booting horses out if they're not up to city grade. The owners have stayed in here, so has he recommended it to a Sydney horse or they've taken it off him? Because in September, 2.5 lengths off Pounding. Now, Pounding's running in the All-Star Mile, running the big Group 1 Blamey on the weekend, went okay, went well. So I think he's got to be something at $12 we've got to look at. If there's any market support, first up, new trainer, I think we've got to be having a little saver on, but I'm with you with Fine Point, number 4 at around the $3.40 mark.
No, good point. And I did look at Attractable, and I found it quite interesting that it had gone from Moody to Ryan. So I think it's going to be one to watch. I think it's probably better suited up near the mile rather than the 1300.
Yeah, 100%. Just that change of direction, change of scenery, change of thoughts. It could really, really blossom. And I thought Attractable was a nice horse when he was younger. Might have just not gone off the planet for a bit, but yeah, good betting race. Definitely going to be with you on Fine Point. Race 6, the Tab Australian Cup Prelude. Extra little race here because the Australian Cup is on in 2 weeks' time. We've got the odds. I've got them. The favourite here is Right You Are, $3.45. Emerson, $4.40. Maraschino, $6.50. Vow and Declare, $10. Surefire, $13. Young Werther, $13. Regal Power, $13. And you can write your own ticket of the rest. Speed map here. I think Maraschino here gets a lovely spot here from barrier 1 and finds a lead quite easy. Noble Heights should come across from 9 and just sit outside leader, but I can't see Maraschino being tested, pushed. He'll just find the front. Fairwin, right you are. Barrier 4, perfect spot, smokes the pipe, goes everywhere where I think these leaders go, and I think it's a better horse when it camps behind the leaders. Fairwin Declare from 8. I think they'll be looking to push a little bit forward here because his first up run was nice. Emissary, Young Werther sitting just behind them. I've got your Surefire going back here, and Regal Power. Well, yeah, leave me out of those trainer, and owner colours. Speed map. Yep, talked about that. I'm happy to be here after talking about that speed. Is Maricino here? He'll be left alone up front. He'll do his own thing. I'm not worried about what pace they go, if it's fast, if it's slow. He handles anything and won on both, either tempo. I just love this horse last start. The horse wouldn't settle for him and should have folded up with 200 metres to go. They went absolutely lickety split up front. And, yep, we were on it as a community. And, wow, with 200 to go, I thought, no, he's got to pull up stumps here. But I just thought the horse was going stronger than ever. What I really impressed me, though, back in December, he beat Steinem, who came out and won on Blue Diamond Day against Emissary. So you can tie some form lines into here. I think we're getting a nice price here because they're not rating the Perth horses that have been down here for this autumn. They've been a bit, iffy. But this ain't a strong race. And if he brings his Perth form over, I think $6.50 is a really good bet to have here. And you can really hammer, if it's leader track, you can really hammer the place here because I don't think it misses top 3. Right you are. I can't knock this horse. I won't be taking it on. I wouldn't talk you out of backing this. Great prep. Just keeps winning this horse. Loves the line. Gets the perfect running transit. Must respect the SPs of this horse of $1.50, $3.70, $2.70. I think the big boys are going to find it, and he might be hammered late. But other than that, I haven't got much to talk about. Matty, have you got any thoughts?
Well, the one thought here was just around Surefire. Really disappointing last start at Sandown in the Peter Young. So I'm really interested to see how it goes at Flemington. I think this horse will win a nice race. I don't necessarily know if this is it, but it looks exceptionally well suited. Look, Surefire is one I'm going to be watching. Maricino, I was going to ask you the question, just around the WA horses coming across. We haven't seen too many winning races.
No.
Now, I know there's been a whole lot of Peter's horses come across, so put them to the side. But apart from them, we've still seen a few come across, high expectations. Is this another one?
Yeah, very good point, mate. I think that's why we're getting the price, because they've been quite disappointing. Those Bob Peter horses, you just got to put a line through them. I think they won during COVID in Perth. A few, can't think of the one I'm thinking of, but not Superstorm. It's anyway. But yeah, they're a bit iffy, and I think that's why we're getting a price, because they haven't been going so well. If say that one that won on Saturday wins, I think we're getting $4 instead of $6.50.
Mm.
So that's why I'm happy to have the price, because if you look at the map, a lot of them are middle to back markers. So you're right, you are. Maricinos are really your only two that I think are chasing a victory here, where the others are chasing Australia Cup in 2 weeks, Ramvet in 3 to 4 weeks. So yeah, I think you just got to identify where the grand finals are, and I think they're the two. Maricino, right you are, but I'm more keener that Maricino does a Vo Rogue and makes every post a winner.
Was it Superstorm you're talking about?
No, it's Empire. Empire.
Western Empire.
Yeah, he won during COVID. I think we've just overrated that horse a little bit. It's a shame. So, yeah, it's a $6.50 question, and at that price, I'm happy to find out. WhatsApp and subscribing to our channels, guys, please. If you haven't subscribed on our YouTube or any podcast platform, please subscribe. Get the episodes as they drop, and yeah, you don't have to wait for them to put them on social media and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, whoever may like racing. As I said, we do this all for free. There's no hidden costs. We do, yeah, as I said, everything we do is free for the love of it. We just enjoy doing it every week and trying to find winners for, more importantly, us and you guys. If you want to join our community, I'll put my email down below. Please check it out. If you want to join, email me. You can DM one of us. We'll put you straight through. Been a very up and down week for the community. Saturday was a strip out, fought back Sunday, gave it all back on Tuesday, Wednesday, fought back tonight at Pakenham. So it's, it's like the pun. It's a roller coaster. You got to enjoy the wins and ride the losses, as I like to say. Yeah.
It's always nice on Wednesday nights in there with a bit of form and some tips floating around at Happy Valley. So always enjoyable to hear the community's thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. A few others are starting to chime in, which is good. AFL's hitting up, so I'm tipping there's going to be a few AFL bets going around. I've thrown out a few NRL bets in the Broncos-Cowboys game. I think the Cowboys are a good bet at $2. That's just my thoughts. Come join, give your thoughts, whatever you like to pun on. More than welcome to.
Have you found someone to substitute for myself next Thursday night?
No, we're going to Wednesday night. Special edition. We're going to do probably runner by runner in my favourite, the All-Star Mile. Go, you good thing. And yeah, we'll pick another race up in Sydney to do runner by runner to Wednesday night special.
Right. We'll go early just so Worm can let me go to the footy on Thursday night.
Yeah, it'd be a good game to see where Carlton's at again. And yeah, it'll be nothing better watching the thread fire up. It always does for round one, game one. And it's good to...
Interesting that one of our Tiger mates is on his way back from 6 months overseas. So I think clearly thinks they've got a bit of a chance this year.
Yeah, he's actually off the alcohol. He's putting himself through a big season of Richmond. So good luck to him.
Good to be back.
Yeah, we'll probably put a few AFL bets out on the podcast in our multis because there's going to be a few $40, $50 pops that we're going to chuck in. So stay tuned. It's going to be a big 6 months of sport and betting. Around the grounds, Matty, where are we going?
We'll start off in Sydney if we can. Race number 5. Now, one of my favourites, Clemenceau, is going around, first time in a while. So is Thilric. First up in a little while, last start was at Kembla Grange. Very, very impressive. And the only other one I'll talk about in this race very briefly is Rocketing By. So interesting. I actually think you can have 3 bets in this race and be fairly comfortable. Now, I'll mention Rocketing By first because it's paying around about $26. So you only need to have something small on it, but it has the ability to spoil the party in this race. So just make sure you have something, some type of cover, depending on what your units are looking like within the race. But the 2 main bets are going to be on Clemenceau and Althilric. Clemenceau, around that $3.50 mark, it'll go towards the lead. I wouldn't be surprised if it's leading. Althilric will be around the mark, probably taking some cover, sitting midfield and trying to catch Clemenceau. So, Worm, I think they're the 2 big bets within this race. I'm confident that they're the only 2 that'll be finding the winning post. However, as I said, Rocketing By does have the ability to spoil the party. So just keep that in the back of the mind.
So do we promote the second one you mentioned? Do we play that on the promos as a win?
We'll go to Melbourne. Race date, Ayrton. So, mate, first up, sensational record, very impressive trial, and I don't put a lot of weight behind trials, but first up record, I think it finds a very nice race here. Ayrton, I'll be including in my betting strategy. Worm, that's it for Around the Grounds. Where do we find yours?
Oh, mate, Visionary, my grave favourite in the same race.
Yes.
Oh, That is a hot race. But yeah, really like Anton's jump outs, mate. I think these come back a bit better than last prep, and I think that I Wish I Win first up form reads very, very nice.
First up, I think this horse is always switched on. Second, third up, it's got a little bit of a question mark, but first up, I like jumping in.
Yeah, beautiful. I might be with you. I'll dive a bit more into that race, but it looks good. I'm just going to have one around the grounds here. I'm going to go to Flemington, race 7, the Newmarket Stakes. I'm going to be with number 16 here, Buenos Noches, or, cheese nachos, whatever you want to call it.
Bruno Nachos.
Yeah, someone was having cracks at how we pronounce it, so that's all right. Not a problem. You know who you are. I thought this horse was a sneaky run in the Lightning Stakes. When the race was on, Willow was still waiting to get out or was getting squeezed. Yes, I Wish I Win gave it Winburn. But watch this horse last 100 metres. I just thought he was matching motors with I Wish I Win. This horse loves the straight. I think 1200 suits this horse a lot better and can really build into the race. I just really hope Benny Thompson can put this into a really good spot, no worse than midfield. But yeah, I just think at around the $12, I think it's just a crazy odds to have a bet. Your thoughts in that race, Matty?
Well, open race. I'll tell you, I don't know whether I've ever picked a winner in the Newmarket. Surely someone should take one at once, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. No, maybe.
No. So, look, honestly, I think there are a number of chances. I get how you've landed on Bruno Nachos. I could be tipping 4 horses in this race quite comfortably.
Yep.
So I'm quite happy to stay away from this from a betting strategy point of view. Look, a horse like Ballinipatina at $17 is absolutely crazy.
Yep.
But I also can't go past the favourite in I Wish I Win.
Yep.
And there's a lot of horses in between those two that can put a very, very strong case together. So if you're having a quaddie at Flemington, good luck.
Yeah, mate. Like Private Eye finished second in the Everest. Rock and Horse won this 12 months ago. Bella Nipotina, you mentioned. Lofty Strike has been one of the best 2 races I've seen this prep without winning last start. He was bloody stiff, just ran into a good one. In Secret, coming back from 1400 against its own grade in the surround. Like, wow, great race, great addition. But yeah, Buenos Noches, 50.5 kilos. I just think it was a sneaky run. If it doesn't get that squeeze or gap, if it does get the gap, I just think it might be around an $8 mark.
Yep.
It could be one of the great 8 across the track here, and we don't know where to look.
That's without mentioning In Secret.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I know it was somewhat disappointing, but that was over 1,400 up in Sydney, back down to 1,200.
Yep.
Oof, I'll tell you what, a lot of upside there.
Yeah, 100%.
So anyway,
multi-time. What are you throwing in, Matty?
Not too much value this week. We're going to make sure that we get my 2 legs because I know that you're going to include the value. So we're going to go Clemenceau the place. I can't see it missing the place. And Fine Point, I can't see it missing the place either. So tick my 2 off. And Worm.
Yep.
Make sure there's some value here because I haven't provided too much. I think I'm sitting around about $1.40 for each of these.
Yeah, I like how you've taken the soft option. Just get clip them off the pads for 4 off the first ball, bang, 4 again off the second ball. I've come in. I'm going to throw in Shock 'em Over the win in the first. I think it wins around the $2. I'm going to throw Buenos Noches in the place, $4. I think it's just crazy. I think it does run a drum. Some people can call me crazy. You can chuck Matty's in and throw your own in, but Fine Point the place, Clemenceau the place, Shock 'em Over the win, Brunos Noches the place, $16.50. I think it's a good bet to have. Pineapple of the week, Matty. Where are we going? Of handing it over. It hurts to hand it over because I got the race right, except the last 20 metres.
Yes.
Where are we heading?
Well, we're not going Melbourne. We're not going Sydney. We're going a little bit further north up to Eagle Farm.
Oh, yes.
Worm, race number 2, Eagle Farm.
Oh, hello.
We're going to go down to the bottom. Lovely Esteem, number 9.
Yep.
Now, the Red Kite has been in some sensational form.
Yep.
Have you got any stats there in front of you? I'm just going to pepper you with a few questions.
Yeah.
Lovely Esteem.
Yep.
Last couple of races, over 1,600 metres. What's the time been?
So last start was one. I've lost the number.
It's all right. 134 rounded up.
Yep.
134.7 rounded up to 135.
Yep.
From there at one race prior ran 135 over 16.15.
Yep.
Red Kite hasn't beaten 137. Now, both of these horses are in the 2s.
Yeah.
Lovely Esteem will not be in the 2s come the start of this race.
Yep.
So make sure you get on early. Currently paying $2.15. I think you get $2.20 best odds. You won't be able to get that race day. So
Okay.
Lovely Esteem will be the pineapple for this week, Worm.
Beautiful. Sorry, mate. I'm watching the last at Pakenham and that hurts. Yeah, I'm with you, mate.
You're just very emotional about the pineapple.
Yeah, mate. Oh my God, that was horrible. Yeah, everyone's got my live reaction of a bet going down that I was really confident on. Wow. Anyway, yeah, mate, what you said about Lovely Esteem, 100% agree. The time's just, I think, a lot better. And I think it's got better form lines. No knock to the Red Kite, who was running around in benchmark 58s. And Donald, nice win at Morphettville, obviously being moved up to, sold, new owners, and moved up to Brisbane. I know they're confident, but this could be interesting race. But I 100% agree with the Lovely Esteem.
Yes, no, confident it'll run a very, very good race. So happy to be with it.
Yeah, beautiful. We'll be back next week for Wednesday. Runner by runner, All-Star Mile. Runner by runner, we'll choose another race on Golden Slipper Day in Sydney. Matty, any last thoughts?
Mate, Group 1 racing in Melbourne and also in Sydney. Looking forward to both race meets, and we'll be keeping a very close eye on Eagle Farm early days.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be. I'm actually working on Saturday at Flemington, and I'm going to have to wait for my phone to buzz when it wins. I won't be able to watch any races because I'll be working hard. And I can't wait for my phone to light up at around what time's the race? 12:38. So that'll be Queensland time.
Well, you enjoy your hardly working day at Flemington.
Thank you, mate. I put my hand up, so I actually want to work on track, so can't wait. It'll be a bit of fun. And
enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll be back next Wednesday for that. Hope you have a great punting weekend. Hopefully you fill your pockets up. More importantly, we hope we fill your pockets up, not like Pakenham Race 8. But hopefully you have a great weekend, and we'll be back next week. Ciao.